Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. I hope you all are blessed. Hope you all had a beautiful, beautiful day. We're back. We're back once again doing what we do. Nola Bell's, Bo's, cousins, and friends. We're opening the door one more night and having a discussion on questions that still remains unanswered. While you all are here, I hope you all have taken the time to hit that like button for your girl. Share out the live if you can. And don't forget to tap those emojis to the right. Grab a membership if you can, because baby, y'all look good in green over here. And Mocha really, really, really appreciate that. So tonight is one of those nights. Tonight is one of those nights, babe, where I'm going to be here. Now, I ain't coming to y'all with a list of questions. No, not me, not mine. Not those that I want to ask. But tonight, the questions came from y'all. It came from y'all. Because the last few videos, the comment section, oh, Lord, y'all didn't miss. And I mean, not at all, not at all, not at all. Some of y'all asked questions that just made me stop scrolling. Some of y'all said things that made me pause. And some of y'all said things that I already knew people were thinking, but a lot of people had not yet said it out loud yet. So tonight, I ain't putting words in nobody's mouth, but we're going to lay it all on the floor. We're going through some supporter questions. And not only some supporter questions, but then Mocha also want to, throw some things in there that I kind of pulled out from previous interviews, right? And these were some questions and concerns that were left publicly under my videos by people who were just trying to understand what still don't make sense. And the common denominator in everything that I saw was, why is it always that family? Why is it always that family is expecting us, the public, to show grace? Why is it that they're expecting us to show grace, but the people closest to Naziyah never ever seem to respond? You see, society had no problem, according to them, giving chances. Strangers had no problem offering understanding, but people who didn't owe a damn thing still don't show compassion. I'm confused. But before we get too far into this, supporters started asking, but damn it, if they want us to show grace, why can't they show the same grace and at least respond? And that's where tonight goes. Tonight goes with wondering why the hell they're not responding. And let me get this disclaimer out of the way before we move any further. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So guys, as you all gather up in here, get yourself comfortable. Grab a snack if you must. Grab your pens and your notepads. Make sure the children are quiet and tend to. Go take a pee if you got it. Because tonight we are taking a walk back down memory lane. And we're going to hope. We're going to hope that they respond one way or the other. One way or the other. Give Mocha a minute and she will be right back. And as I'm going in that 1 minute, man, drop your thoughts up in this chat because tonight we're doing it for Naziyah. Flood this chat with some hearts. Let Mocha see that you're ready. And I'll be right back.
Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Hit that like button, you might break the scale. If you can't join the membership, still ride for free, $99. Yeah, we lit in here. Comments popping, energy rocking, we all shine. We have a stay. We have a stay. Turn it up, we in the South with style and grace. Mocha got 'em talking, can't nobody take a place. Nah, from the bayou to the block, we drop truth, not tea. You ain't gotta pay the vibe, hit that like for free. Every panel on fire, every topic gon' trend. If you ain't a member yet, you still a friend, amen. Got love for the real, was no time for the mess. We keep it authentic, that's no labels at its best. Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we gon' live, we outside. It's Mocha and the crew, we the talk of the streets. Bring the real back to YouTube, no scripts, no beats. We laugh, we drag, we educate too. All the bells in the chat know how we do. So tap in, lean back, sip your drink real slow. Let the haters keep watching, we steal the show. From Mocha to Nola, we hold it down steady. Platinum plus approved, that girl stay ready. Welcome to Mocha, na na bells. Welcome to Mocha, na na bells. Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we go live, we outside. Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Where the truth ring loud like church bells. Like, comment, subscribe, free 99 if you ride. We don't fake the vibe, we go live, we outside. From the panel to the people, it's pure real talk. She ain't following a trend, she lead her own walk. No cameras, my mic check with no lights on blast. But every episode hit like first class. We ain't gossiping, we testifying, keep it bold. Every story got a lesson that need to be told. So hit that bell, join the ride in style. Welcome to Mocha, stick around for a while. Welcome to Mocha, no love bells. Where the bells ring, truth in the chat stay lit. Like, comment, subscribe, don't quit. If you can't join the membership, free $99. Still with it. Still with it. We outside. We outside.
All right, guys. All right. We are back in this thing. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. And welcome to another edition of Mocha Unfiltered. Doing what she do. We outside. We outside. And yes, we outside. I saw the hearts flooding the chat. And I truly, truly appreciate it. I appreciate it. I see the love. Tonight, we're going to read the comments. We're going to sit with those comments and we're going to talk about them respectfully, honestly. And I'm going to say if you're here to listen, you're in the right place. If you're here to engage, you're in the right place. And engagement means a lot because as long as I see you all moving those comments, that means we're doing something right. As long as I see you all smashing the emojis to the right, we're doing something right. And for those that's in the bushes, y'all know I couldn't leave y'all out. Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? Hope y'all hit the like button as well. Over here, we're family. We don't leave nobody out. You all are more than welcome to join the chat respectfully. And I know that there are a few of you that cannot join the chat because you've been blocked permanently. But that's what happens when you don't know how to be decent and in order. But nonetheless, we're here to do what we do. We are definitely here to do what we do. So if any of you are uncomfortable in the bushes, maybe you need to ask yourself, why? Why? So go ahead on and hit that like button. Get settled. And let's talk about these questions. Let's talk about these questions. Y'all understand why we're here? Nothing we're doing here tonight comes from any rumors. It's not being pulled out of thin air. Everything we're about to talk about comes straight from supporters. Comments left. And I want y'all to hear this part. See, when people take the time to type out a comment, that means something didn't sit right with them. They're confused. Means they're trying to connect dots that still don't line up. Because before we could even talk about accountability, before we could talk about grace, healing, any of that, we got to acknowledge what is actually being said. There are a lot of things that have been said. One of the first comments that I received, they spoke on the foster child. Comment was, if the foster girl said she never wanted to go back to Annette's house, surely they know when Naziyah went missing. And that was the comment. Welcome everyone that just entered the chat. If the foster girl said that she did not want to return back to Annette's home, clearly she knew when Naziyah went missing. That's a damn good question. Does this question sound unreasonable to any one of you? Because I believe that question was a question trying to understand what these adults knew and when they knew it. See, because in my opinion, when children start speaking up about not wanting to return somewhere, that usually raises concerns for people watching in from the outside. So if this foster child says she never wants to go back to Annette's house, that speaks volumes. What exactly did she know? What exactly did she know? And we could take what she said and tie it in to what, yes, it is, Cornell, and tie it in to what 5% said about this is a mess. Because there's a reason why that child didn't want to go back. And one of the reasons I believe that child did not want to go back, that child has seen some things. That child has witnessed some things. In Mocha's opinion, that child could have also been a victim of something. And if you all believe or think or feel that this child may have been a victim of some things, or possibly even seen something, flood the chat with red flags. Because you don't normally hear somebody say that they don't want to return back to a place where they were loved, where they were treated well, where they were accepted and they were chosen to live the life that a child should live. Something was wrong. Because children just don't outrightly say they don't want to go back. I see the red flags. I see them. I believe that child could have possibly been a victim. I also believe that that child saw some things. That child witnessed some things. And we need Annette. We need Shannon. And we need Marquita to stand up and answer to the shit that these children have witnessed. We could call Jarvis Butts a monster all we want to, because we know that's who he is. But what we're not going to do, we're not going to sit up here and pretend that Annette, Shannon, and Marquita weren't monsters as well, because it started with them monsters. They're the monsters. Because Annette had all these children in her custody, in her care, long before Jarvis Butts even came into the picture. So these games, this abuse towards children, Shannon, Annette, Marquita, y'all ain't new to this. Y'all were pretty seasoned in this. It starts with y'all. Samantha want to know about the other girls that were in the basement. Lord, she asks, did Dre burn them up? Oh, Lord. I don't know, girl. That Mocha don't know. Definitely. But I do know that there were other children. There were other children. And the thing, Shannon, Annette, and Marquita, y'all had the most authority, right? Y'all had the most, thank you, sister. Y'all had the most authority over all these children. Y'all might want to lash out at the extended family members. I get it. Y'all need somebody to blame. But those children were in y'all care. Welcome each and every one of you to the chat. Y'all needed somebody to blame. because y'all don't want to carry all of this alone. But y'all created this. Not only did y'all create this, but you all wore masks in that family for many years. 40 years of CPS. When Mark D titled that live stream, 40 years of CPS, he didn't do it for no unknown reason. There was a reason. Because that's how long this has been going on. Annette has been allowing this. We're not going to say she's been allowing it. I have to retract myself. Allegedly, she's been doing this, according to family members. Annette has been doing this all these years and covering it up, wearing a mask, pretending to be holy. She was God-fearing and church-going. That's the role she played in front of other family members. That's the role Annette played to people on the outside who didn't know better. But inside that house, oh my God, Annette damaged so many children. And not only did she damage them, but she trained thing one and thing two to damage as well. And that's why tonight we need Shannon, Marquita, and Annette to face the music. Cornell said the social workers in the school are the professionals who was trained to protect children. Cornell, clearly they didn't. They dropped the ball. And we have to remember there's a reason that they dropped the ball. We don't know the reason. But soon enough, the world is going to know why CPS dropped that ball. The world is going to know CPS dropped it. The school dropped it. DPD dropped it. And we're going to get into why I say they dropped it. Kenyetta Marie, my girl, she says, I want to ask Dre, when he painted the roaches, did it leave a bubble effect on the wall? Damn. The fact that he painted those walls and so many times like he was in art class, that tells a story all by itself. So just knowing that that foster child refused to go back to Annette's house, she didn't give a damn if she had to live in a ditch. She refused to go back to that house. That tells a story. But yet they were on Mark D's podcast, ramping and raving, bragging about how the kids were not being allowed to go outside. Devin said they were only outside to take out the trash. Well, I can understand that, Devin, even if you in the bushes. I can understand you saying that the children were only allowed to go outside to take out the trash. They were locked in that house of horrors because that's where all the damage was done. All the damage was being done inside that home, and they couldn't risk those children being out and about with other children in the community because of the children. Follow me, y'all. Do you all believe if those children interacted with children inside within that community, do you think they would have told the secrets? That's why those children couldn't be outside. I do believe those children would have told the secrets. That's why they kept those children so close. That's why they would not let those children interact with anybody outside of that home. You have to make it make sense. If you all believe that something was very suspicious about children not interacting with other children outside of the family dynamic, if you all believe something was very suspicious about that, give me some red flags, because tonight is a red flag night. Or if you believe it was something different, say, Mocha, no, I believe X, Y, and Z. Because for a child not to be able to interact with others, something is wrong with that. You ain't no damn Muslim. You ain't no mime where you can't talk. So what's the problem where these children could not be children? I see the red flags. It is definitely something that that family was hiding. Ms. O says, what's infuriating is the fact that Shannon has not showed any feelings regarding her daughter being abused by JB. Ms. O, I could help you with that. She didn't show any feelings. And it's sad to say, I see the red flags, I see them. Thank you all. Ms. O, I could pretty much say why I believe she didn't have no feelings. She didn't have motherly instincts or love, if we want to start right there. What she put her child through was normal to her. That family has been going through things like this all their lives. All their lives. The abuse, or what we see as abuse, because we're normal, right? To us, it's abuse. To them, that was a way of living. They lied and they hide and they protected this for years, 40 plus years. So it was a way of living for them. No emotions, because it was normal. And Annette should be ashamed of her damn self. My niece, hey niece, she said, Auntie, she's been orchestrating this shit. Absolutely, absolutely. Cool girl sister says, Mocha, if we could find those other missing little girls that ran away from Annette, this would definitely get her some time under the jail. Listen, it's going to take not only just these little girls, right? Annette has family members. Annette has family members within, when I say family members, I don't mean extended. I'm meaning within her household. Her own children. Her own grandchildren that are victims of the abuse. That refuses to talk about it. Her children. That's why y'all think she's stuck there with thing one and thing two. Everybody else left. Annette has children and grandchildren that she's done this to. What's really sad in all of this is they're afraid to talk about it. And what makes them afraid? I'm going to tell you what I believe makes them afraid to talk about it. Kawana said one real thing that I believe, and it's going to always stick with me. When she said, speaking on Annette, people disappear and nobody hears from them again. I believe that. And I believe that's exactly why they are afraid. I believe that. And that's a shame. And because they never said anything, because they never said anything, that's why this has escalated this far. Annette's own immediate family members are afraid of her. They're going to go to their graves with the abuse that they've endured in that house. Annette needs to be under the jail, and thing one and thing two needs to be right behind her. She has manipulated her children, those that she could control. She have them believing that the moves that she make are the right ones. Because, we have to ask ourselves. One of the questions that was asked was, why is it that Annette keep adopting all these children and then they were deemed runaways later on? You adopting children after children after children. Annette's children having children. Annette's children don't agree with the things that she has going on in her home. But then your children having children. But your children, the adopted ones, now they done got pregnant before they done disappeared now. Having babies, and once the baby shows up, these people mysteriously disappear. And then Annette goes on to get custody of the babies from the same people that disappeared. Annette, bet you got some answers to give to the world, because something ain't right. CPS, y'all wrong is two left shoes. Because what type of shit you and Annette got going on, CPS, to whereas you are allowing this lady to keep putting her name on a dotted line to adopt children, to foster children, and there's no mothers in sight. That is questionable as all get out. How is this possible that these people could be in the middle of a city as busy as Detroit is? And you mean to tell me nobody recognizes the pattern and nobody sees what's going on in Annette's home? Or if they see, ain't nobody saying nothing? That's a problem. Hey, Marky Ann, welcome, my love. I think Jarvis was paying the grandmother, Annette, honestly. It's possible. Not only paying her, sleeping with her too. Annette controlled everything. Everything. Now, Keisha, I see you, my love. Marty, my girl. Cornell said the kids was outside. They was on Google Maps, for crying out loud. Child. Kenyatta Marie said Devin got tired of lying. He told him Shan knew, and that's what he said. Shan knows everything. Everything. And I believe him. I believe him. I do believe him. Shan knows everything. Carla Henry said them neighbors had to know something was wrong. And Carla Henry, I'm sure the neighbors saw something. They may have not heard nothing, but I'm sure they saw something. But they're afraid. They're afraid. How you program children. Annette is a witch. Marky Ann said she pulled Naziyah out of after school program. Absolutely. But for what reason? We're going to get into it, though. We're going to get into it. Their normal is definitely. Hey, Linda, how are you, my love? Kenyatta says, I wonder why Barry won't break the curse and speak the truth. He's afraid of his grandmother. He's afraid of his grandmother, Kenyatta Marie. These children are aware. These children have seen Annette in action. They know what she's capable of doing, and they are afraid. And that's sad. Thank you so very much, Linda. God bless you. Spicy wants to know, why isn't Annette ass in jail? Why isn't Shannon in jail and Marquita in jail? Spicy, hang on, hang tight. They're going to get their moment. They're going to get their moment one way or another. I don't wish bad luck on none of them. But they did Naziyah bad. And not only Naziyah, the other little children, they did them all bad. So whatever comes their way, it's going to come, and I will be one with a pair of pom-poms, cheering it on. Because ain't no damn way you do shit like this to children. You violate them. You violate the children in the worst possible way. Not only do you violate these children, but then you got these children afraid of you. Kenyatta Marie said, it seems like with the case being so viral, they would feel safer speaking the truth now. You would think so, but they're not normal. My take is this. Everybody in that house that was over the age of 18 needs to be locked the hell up. Because if kids involved in school shootings, if their parents could be charged, then why the hell can't Shannon, Annette, and Marquita be charged for doing the most heinous acts when it comes to children? The law needs to make it make sense when it comes to them. Cornell says Shannon and Marquita can't function without Annette. When Annette said jump, they ask high, and that is a fact. Welcome, everyone that's just entering the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My girl Nikesha says, damn. Whoo, Lord. Nikesha want to know, what about Crystal? Nikesha, you know what I want to know when it comes to Crystal? I wish Crystal would become vocal and tell a story. Because right now, Crystal is a grown-ass woman. With a story, a hell of a story to tell. Crystal is a victim. Crystal's daughter is a victim, Nikesha. So the only question that I ask, Crystal is out there living her own life in her own world, doing her own thing. What is it that Crystal is still afraid of? See, right now, Annette is too scared to hurt anybody. She ain't got that type of power no more. She ain't got that type of control anymore. So, Nakisha, I'm with you. Crystal needs to come forth and tell her story. They've done the most. They've done the most. These people have been spinning lies for years. One of the supporters' questions, well, comment was, I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. They've been spinning lies for years. And you see, this one here hurts different because it's the trust. Y'all failed Naziyah in a bad way. In a bad way. Shannon and Annette and y'all still walking free. And y'all should. I listened to 5%, Naziyah's dad. Ron, thank you, my love, for the cash app, boo. I listened to Naziyah's dad. I listened. He said lady was adopted. Boom. That verified everything we ever believed. Everything. Everything. When he described his relationship going back and forth to Annette's home, Annette had 5%. She had Jarvis and Dre all doing the same thing. I don't know what the other men were doing in Annette's home, but all these men played the same part. They all were carpenters. They all painted walls. What the hell did Annette really have going on where she needed walls painted and basements renovated? Annette has been living foul for years and covering it up and getting these dumb, slow, stupid men after she done laid with them because she done slept with them all. She done convinced them to go clean up what she done messed up. And in my opinion, that's what they all were, cleanup men. That man, exactly, Kenyatta Marie. How in the hell did Annette need all that renovation and she was renting? But she wasn't renting. Annette was a squatter. Annette was stealing a place to lay her head. She was squatting. But Frank knew. Frank knew. Because the last two residents, that's for Frank. Frank knew. That man said, his family, he said his wife, his sisters, his son, they were having conversations And he said it was on the 9th of January when his family asked him if Annette was going to do a press conference. No, his family asked him that on the 9th. I got a problem, y'all. And I need y'all to help me understand. This man said on the 9th, him and his family were together. And his family came to him and asked him on the 9th, was Annette going to do a press conference? He said on the 9th. Lady came from Ohio on the 9th to pass out flyers. Now this is where I need y'all. Why would him and his family be holding a conversation on the 9th about a press conference? Why would Lady show up from Ohio on the 9th? When Annette and Shannon put the word out here in these YouTube streets that they reported Naziyah missing on the 10th. So why would it be during the day of the 9th that 5% in his family is discussing a press conference? Now we have to make this make sense. Based on what I just said, how many of you now believe that Naziyah has been missing long before the 9th? Make goddamn sense. Those were the words that 5% said. That man said Shannon, Annette, and Marquita were not worried. He said him and his wife started passing out flyers. He said on the 10th, they were passing out flyers. He went over to Annette's house and Annette did not seem bothered. Annette had a funky attitude, he said. I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all in agreement. He said Annette had a funky attitude. And look, that ain't some shit. That man says, Annette said she didn't know why the police was fucking with Vari. She don't know why the police want to question Vari. They need to leave him the hell alone. He ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What you say, ma'am? What do you say? Naziyah's missing. That's Vari's sister. So now Annette do not want the police questioning Vari. If that's not a red flag, if y'all feel that was a red flag, Annette not wanting the police to question Vari, because she had, in my opinion, she had already programmed Vari on what to say and what not to say. So do y'all feel it was a red flag because she didn't want the police questioning Vari? Annette ain't shit. Annette has been trying to cover this shit up, hey, baby, for a while now. They bought time. They bought time. Then if this ain't enough, hang tight. Hang tight, hang tight. If this ain't enough, 5% said while they were out there passing out flyers. Listen to this shit. That man said they were passing out flyers. They spoke to children in the neighborhood. They spoke to children that Naziyah went to school with. And they asked them, since the family don't want to tell us when was the last time nobody saw Naziyah, 5% told it. He said they were passing out flyers and they spoke to some children in the neighborhood. He said they also spoke with some children that Naziyah went to school with. And guess what, Chad? The children said they had not seen Naziyah in 2 to 3 weeks. Y'all go figure. I'll wait. Annette, bring your ass here. You, Shannon, and Marquita, y'all lying bitches. Those children said 2 to 3 weeks they had not seen Naziyah. You hoes, baby, ain't no jail cell in the world good enough for y'all. These bitches been lying from the gate. From the gate. Annette got everything to do with this, y'all. Now, y'all believe, or if y'all feel that these little children told the truth about not seeing Naziyah for 2 to 3 weeks, man, put some justice scales in this chat. Because Annette, bitch, the truth gonna set you free if you choose to tell it. Those children had no reason to lie. Those children says 2 to 3 weeks since they've seen Naziyah. And y'all go wait until the night to want to tell the world that she didn't come home. Bitches, y'all lied. Y'all lied. And the truth ain't nowhere around y'all. Nowhere around y'all. Naziyah deserves justice and she's going to get it. I see the justice scales in the chat. I see the justice scales in the chat. I appreciate it. That man said, he believed that Naziyah was reported as a runaway for time purposes. He told on y'all in that. He said he believed Naziyah was reported as a runaway for time purposes, so they could get their shit together. And you know how he ended that? He said it was planned that way. He said they planned it that way. Then he said, because y'all know I used to call her mama. Mama tricked me. Well, mama tricked them all. She tricked them all. Annette, you ain't shit. Shannon and Marquita, A shows y'all ain't shit. Let me grab some of these questions and comments before I get too far. Cornell said that makes sense. Lady never favored that family. She looks 10 times better. Absolutely. Absolutely. He said she was adopted. Cornell said he need to search all those houses Annette had, and I wish they would. I wish they do. Kim, he's not a witness, boo. He can't be a witness. He deceased. The poor man went on to glory. Tony said it was the children writing on the walls. If Annette was smart, she would make some bleach water and make the children clean the walls. Oh, no. I don't believe those children was writing on the wall, Tony. I believe it was something more sinister. I believe it was something more sinister That Mocha has a right to her opinion. I believe it was something more sinister, Tony, than just writing on the walls. I really do. You don't need that many men to do that much painting and that much covering up unless you're trying to hide something. Cornell said Annette is a mass manipulator and honestly a psychopath. Annette been doing this for years, generations, and she's gotten away with it for so long it became a norm to this hoe. And she felt like she's gotten away with it for all these years. Naziyah was just going to be another notch in her belt. But God done got tired of Annette shit. And it didn't work out as she planned. These people are sick. Just sick. Annette controlled every damn thing. Cynthia said Annette had something to do with her disappearance. Because why the hell would she wait the next day to do something? Cynthia, let me correct that. Let me correct that. I see where you're going with it, mama. And we go talk about it. Cynthia says Annette had something to do with Naziyah's disappearance. Because why the hell would she wait till the next day to do something? Cynthia, it appeared as if it was the next day for us. Right? The way we got it, the way it was reported to us was as if it was the next day that this child was reported as a runaway. Cynthia, that's not the facts. The facts is Naziyah had been gone. The children says they hadn't seen Naziyah in 2 to 3 weeks. Who knows? It could have been much longer. 2 to 3 weeks meant that was way before Christmas. 2 to 3 weeks meant middle December. So these children hadn't seen Naziyah in that long. Guess what? The school knew Naziyah wasn't there either. Because winter break hadn't started that early. So why would the school implicate themselves in that bullshit ass story that Kimworthy, Annette, all lined up? It's the fucking lies for me. So when Annette reported Naziyah as a runaway, Naziyah been gone. She been gone. It's the fucking lies. And when Vari came out here and Vari says, leave my grandmother alone, Vari was programmed to say that. Vari has been manipulated and he's been abused too. So we can't be too hard on Vari. He's a product of his environment. When you don't know better, you can't do better. He took to the streets to escape the abuse. He took to the streets to run from the pain that he endured. Vari probably never said anything. Still thinking about his little sister in that house. Who knows if he wasn't trying to make a way to get her out there? He didn't have the resources nor the means. and it got too far and it got out of hand. Absolutely right. Ain't a jail cell in the world big enough for them people. These people are sick. Samantha, I agree. 5%. That interview should be in court as evidence if it's allowable. Hey, Alicia. Alicia says, Mocha, my thing is, where were the kids that lived in the house? When was the last time they saw her? And I think the only way the truth on that part is going to come out, Alicia, as long as those children, if we're meaning Shannon children, Marquita children, and the adopted children, the only way that truth will come out is if they're being questioned in the environments that they're in now. Because as long as those children were living with Annette, the truth would never come out. Peaches, thank you so very much for supporting the channel, my love. That truth will never come out because, and the reason I say that truth would have never come out as long as they were living there with Annette. Roxy said, oh Lord. Roxy said, this shit has been going on for a long time in Annette's home. Annette has been hiding it for years. Other people in the family that this shit has happened to in Annette's house still don't want to talk about it. People around them. And through it all, Annette presented herself as a God-fearing woman. When it came to the children, when the CPS report was made and the police report was made that Jarvis did this to these children in Annette's home back in 2023. And the CPS report was made. Annette and Shannon had the children to lie to the police about the molestation. I'm going to tell you why they had the children lie. They had the children to lie to the police, Alicia, about Jarvis molesting these children. Because Shannon didn't want him locked up. Annette didn't want him locked up. Marquita didn't want him locked up because them hoes, all three of them were sleeping with him along with Naziyah. And then Shannon told him she didn't want to raise her children by herself. So Annette told him to lie. Annette told them to change their story. They all protected Jarvis and never protected those children. Since when a bitch don't want to raise her children alone, rather be with a pedo and keep other children in harm's way. I've never heard of no sick shit like this in all the days of my life. You done got children lying. See, this shit didn't have to go this far for this long, right? It didn't have to get this far. It got this far because of Shannon. It got this far because of Annette. It got this far because of Marquita. And the reason I say it got this far because of all of them. Because one thing we can't forget The one thing we can't forget is that I don't know how many of you all remember, but in September of 2023, Kenya made a post on Facebook about the things the twins and Jarvis, the molestation, and that was long before Naziyah's disappearance. She made the post. They called her a liar. They was ready to go to war. They was ready to fight with her. And had CPS taken that post seriously, had DPD taken it seriously, had anyone taken what she said seriously, even no. Mocha, shut the hell up. You ain't got to go to CPS. You ain't got to go to DPD. You could go to the goddamn immediate family. Had they taken it seriously, Annette children and the family members that Annette violated, if they'd have taken Kenya's post seriously, Annette would have been out of commission long time ago. They'd have shut this shit down back in 2023 and Naziyah would still be here. But they dismissed it because it was learned behavior, and to that family it was normal. So they allowed it to continue going on. Y'all think Shannon gave a damn about Naziyah? Shannon gets on Mark D's podcast, and it pissed me off because because if Naziyah, when Naziyah didn't bring her damn ass home, bitch, what you mean? Naziyah's missing. And that's the tone you take? That tells me everything I need to know about Shannon, her mom, and her sister. Naziyah's missing. That's a child that y'all groomed into womanhood well above her years. So y'all hoes didn't give a damn. Y'all didn't give a damn. Levesque said that's why it's some bullshit that Naziyah got out of her eyesight and she didn't know. She ran everything, Levesque. Everything. Every damn thing. Annette is a damn liar. Absolutely, Natasha. 5% dropped some jewels. He definitely told on Stiff Wig Wanda. Absolutely. Absolutely. He told on that ass. And she didn't think he would tell it. She didn't think nobody would tell it. Beautiful Soul says a hole in the wall means a body in the wall. But, you know, I'm concerned. Concerned about the painting of the walls. I'm concerned about the mysterious fire in the basement. All that shit tells a story that they don't want to look into. They lied on Naziyah in so many ways. They made up so many stories on that child. That child had been missing. And they were making up stories on her as they went. Annette even went as far as telling 5% about a guy who was at the school in a pickup truck. Naziyah, the principal supposedly asked Naziyah who it was. Naziyah said it was her daddy. 5% said he was so interested he was barely able to breathe. But he wanted to be a part of the search for Naziyah. So him and his wife go and ask Annette, well, what area should we go in to pass these flyers out? Now tell me why the hell would Annette send 5%? He said she sent him to Chaseworth. He said, huh? He said, through the woods behind the school? So why would I be passing out flyers through the woods and behind the school? But that was to throw him off. That was to throw him off. He said he eventually found out through Annette that Naziyah was supposedly being with somebody older, or older man. He questioned Annette and asked if it was the twins' boyfriend. Annette played crazy like she didn't know who he was. So Annette's been protecting Jarvis Butts for a long time. So Annette, why are you protecting Jarvis Butts? Is it that you slept with him more than Shannon? Because that video of that birthday party proved to me, bitch, that you had a relationship with Jarvis Butts. Shannon didn't move a beat, but you knocked the whole house down to get to Jarvis Butts. I'm confused. I'm confused. One of the supporters said Lady and Bari could have saved Naziyah. They both saw things. They both experienced things. They both were victim of things. I believe that. I believe that. This is ridiculous. Lady and Bari, they both needed to speak up. And they needed to speak up long, long time ago. But I also asked myself the question. And until this very day, I'm still bothered by that. Because Mark D gave great coverage. And just like the person in the comments section left that comment, it brought me back there too, because I wonder, why was Mark D given a gag order? What was it that they didn't want him to uncover? It's almost like it's selective outrage going on. This makes no sense. And in all of this, Annette controlled the narrative, y'all, because she had the most to lose. She was the captain of that ship. And everything went the way Annette wanted it to go. Tony said most of those walls have secrets. And painting the walls was her outlet to be in the room with the door closed and locked. Yeah. Yeah. Dre said it on right here on the platform. She didn't believe Jarvis was. Dre said he did not believe Jarvis was painting walls in that room that night. He said he believed Jarvis was being with Annette. And that's sad. And when Annette sit there and Annette said, "5% said that Annette told him Jarvis, Shannon," that's how she said it, Shannon's boyfriend, would pick up the girls from school, take them to the shop, and she would go later on and pick them up that evening, later at night from the shop. So for you to say some sick shit like this, Annette, you knew. Lock this bitch up. Lock this raggedy bitch up. She fed these girls to Jarvis butts. She didn't think 5% would ever repeat the shit that she told it. She fed. Shannon went along to get along. But Annette was the mastermind behind it all. Because Annette, you gave Jarvis Butts permission to pick these girls up from school. Not Shannon. You did. Then 5% Annette, the lies, baby, the lies about to choke you and your wig. 5% said Annette told the police. That Naziyah has been running away. 5% said Annette told DPD Naziyah has been running away. But I'm confused like a motherfucker right now. Because during that preliminary hearing, Annette said Naziyah was a good girl. She followed the rules. She never had a problem with her. I call her glamorous. Now, Annette, both of them can't be fucking true. You told those people during the preliminary, Naziyah never ran away. You never had problems with Naziyah. But in that report to DPD, you told them she ran away several times. Them lies is what's going to hang you. Spicy said Annette sat on that stand and never showed not one for 1 minute any concern or sadness about her granddaughter missing. She acted like she was auditioning for a major role in a theatrical movie. Spicy. If not giving a damn was a person. That's how we look at that. If not giving a damn was a person. Cynthia Harmon said, Mocha, that's a damn shame. That baby's gone that long. Annette needs her ass whipped for days. Cynthia Harmon, that's it and that's all. Drop the fucking mic. That baby been gone, Cynthia. Been. Those children in that neighborhood had no reason to lie. The administration from that school needs to be locked up right along with Annette. Because they went along with that lie too. Because I'm confused as to how that story came into play about Naziyah being on that floor in that school. I'm confused as to how, y'all see how this all beginning to make sense right now? Didn't we always say that the picture of that little frail child on that school bus was not Naziyah? Y'all see how this is playing out? That wasn't Naziyah on that bus. That was not Naziyah on that ring cam. Those children confirmed it. They have not seen Naziyah in weeks. Kim Worthy, that's why the fuck you're so quiet right now. Because you knew you were a part of this shit. You knew you lied. You knew you tried to set the stage. You hoes would do anything just to say you had your man. See, Kim Worthy ain't stupid. She knows that this is a high-profile case. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. It's a high-profile case. Kim Worthy had enough shit on her back. Her name was stained like a motherfucker with this P. Diddy shit. So she needed something that was going to make her shine like a star. And to come out here and say, I got my man. Bitch, you stooped low on that one. By creating a false child on a school bus. You did a bad one with that one by creating that false ass story in that school. Bitch, you down bad. Just to say you got your man. Nah, bitch, rewind the script. You wouldn't have to say you got your man. If you'd have done your job when you were supposed to do your job, Jarvis Butt shouldn't have been walking the streets no goddamn way. All of this happened because you dropped the ball years ago on Jarvis Butts. So if y'all don't think they were all in this shit together, baby, something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong. If y'all can't see that they were all in this shit together. This is crooked as two left shoes. Kim Worthy, you supplying Annette with these foster children, these adoptive children. And I want to know what makes Annette the prime. Annette already got a rap sheet long as my fucking arm and leg combined, with children running away, with children coming up missing on her watch, with children being reported as runaways. That's a fucking pattern. But Kim Worthy, you got Annette with 7 adopted children. 7. Through you, ma'am. And they're all under the age of 10. All under the age of 10. Don't y'all see that as a red flag? Why are she adopting children at this age with her old ass? That's for a check. You adopt them. You violate them. You ruin them. And then you report them as runaways. Isn't that suspect to y'all? Because to me, that's suspect. If you look at it as being suspect, please, y'all help Mocha out, because I don't want to just be talking to be talking. And if I'm wrong, y'all already know how I get down. If I'm wrong, I need y'all to pull me the fuck back and say, Mocha, bitch, you're wrong. Come back. Come back. Ain't no fucking way. You keep going reporting children as runaways. But the state keep giving you children. This shit ain't adding up to me. 5% said he believed that Annette reported Naziyah as a runaway to cover up some sick shit that was going on in that house. And guess what? Mocha believes him. Mocha believes him. That's a damn shame. Hey, Bonnie, welcome to the chat, my love. Bonnie said it ain't right. And they're hiding something. They're snakes. Oh, they're worse than snakes, baby. They are worse than snakes. Tony says, that picture of Naziyah waving on that picture in the class is old. She had on a different outfit. Now, which one of them is lying? Because a picture don't lie. Absolutely, Tony. We know that picture was old. Just like the bus ride was old. The picture was staged. The bus ride was staged. The walk in front of the ring cam was staged. The lie they told about Naziyah walking 2.5 miles to go meet Jarvis before him and King picked her up, that shit was a lie that was staged. They all need their ass whipped. This is sick. Marty says when Vari changed his script on Annette. Let's talk about it, Marty. Marty says when Vari changed his script on Annette, they raided him and took his baby girl. And then they got to GoFundMe. That's all they about, Marty. Money, money, money. Those people don't care about Vari. They don't care. Because if they cared about Vari, there's no way Vari would be in the system and his baby girl. Marky Ann says, if baby girl was gone 2 to 3 weeks, how do we explain Jarvis' sister and King seeing her the day before she was reported missing? Hold up, Marky. Hold up. When they interviewed him, if we go back and listen to the preliminary, they asked questions and they never mentioned dates. They never mentioned dates. It's a possibility. It's a possibility that what Jarvis' sister said was true. It just wasn't the date. It just wasn't that moment. This is some twisted, sick shit. Wanda said, everything you're saying, I said already. And Kim is quiet because she's trying to clean up her backyard. They both are fostered. The cases went straight to Kim Worthless. Absolutely, Wanda. That family is sick. Tony, you're right. Tony says Marquita had Jarvis first. And she said, well, she had him first. And according to the stories that they tell, Naziyah's mama introduced Jarvis to that family. That's what they say. And Jarvis ended up laying up with Marquita, the other twin, and Marquita had a baby for Jarvis first. And because she said she didn't like light-skinned men, Marquita got rid of the baby. Then Shannon ended up with Jarvis after Marquita aborted a baby for Jarvis. This is some nasty, sick, twisted shit if ever I heard of it. Those kids have been failed over and over again. Bonnie says they didn't care about them babies. And it's sad that they had to suffer. Bonnie, I'm with you. They all need to be under the jail. Every last one of them. Cornell said Annette done paid some people off with some of the money she made from trafficking them, allegedly. But that's the way it looks to me. That's the way it looks. Wanda said they don't even know where she's at. Wanda said they don't know where she at. Wanda, Annette, and Shannon, and Marquita, they know where she at. She said they don't know where she's at. That's why I say she's going to show up in court. If she's been trafficked, oh, she will find her way to court because she knows she got us on her side. Wanda, we wishing for the best. But look at what kind of family we're dealing with. Lady D said, we know that raggedy wig so-called grandmother lied when she said Jarvis still coming in the house. Jarvis is always outside. That was a bald-faced lie. Absolutely. That lady lied. She lied. And absolutely, Cynthia, just a check. Kitty, the most disgusting people you ever want to meet. No one is going to run away for no reason. So that story still ain't right. Absolutely, Kitty. Absolutely. Tony says, Mocha, I would have run away from Annette ass too. Naziyah was willing to go and live with Jarvis Butts, and he'd be running around Detroit. But listen, Tony, for Naziyah to say that she was ready to move in with Jarvis, right? Imagine what Naziyah was experiencing, what she was enduring, what Naziyah has been going through in that house. So listen, from what we now know about Shannon, Annette, and Marquita, and the abuse, that the role they played with these children. Naziyah, Jarvis wasn't the only one doing this shit to Naziyah. They were too. They were too. Those children got tired of that shit. Those children had enough of that shit. Not just Naziyah, all of them. Because why in the world would a child run away from a place that they were supposedly loved? This shit is insane. Thank you, Spicy. Lady D says, and why after Mark D was told to come to the police station, and after he left the police station, that he was going to get rid of his tapes on Naziyah. Isn't that something? That's a mystery, Lady D. Why? And he hadn't spoke on her since. Haven't spoke on her since. Samantha, I agree. I agree. Carla Henry, I agree. This trial should not take place in Michigan. It should not. It should not. Because some sinister shit is going on with Annette and the legal system. If Annette has been protected all these years by the legal system, this trial should not take place there. Why y'all? This is beginning to make more and more sense. That explains why Jarvis refused to take that plea deal. He knows some shit. He knows more than we'll ever know. And when he tells it, something in my gut is telling me it's going to implicate more than just a Shannon, Marquita, and Annette. There's a reason why Jarvis did not take that plea deal. And y'all better believe it. Marty said 5% claim he told so much from from Annette. And he know he was sick. And he was so concerned why he never recorded a sworn statement with witnesses. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what he told Mark D. That's all I know. Sakina, I see you, boo. Levesque said it took this case to get blown up for Kim Worthy to start investigating the case. Who knows how long this case sat on her desk? Well, Levesque is set with every other claim against Annette and her nasty children. Because this has been going on for years and they just didn't touch it. Nobody said nothing. They let her keep going. Wanda said they tried to set him up. and they set themselves up. I told you Annette runaway cases went straight to Kim and nothing was done. I believe it, Wanda. I believe it. Essie, thank you so much for supporting the channel, my love. Thank you all for helping me reach my goal. Thank you so much. Cornell said, because none of this makes any sense. It's some fishy shit going on. For real, for real. Cornell, it's hard to make it make sense. Hey, Rodney, welcome, boo. Rodney said, makes sense that they're foster kids. That explains why the investigations are bullshit. They wanted to get rid of the kids anyway. Absolutely, Rodney. There you have it. There you have it. The investigation is truly bullshit. That's crazy. Kim, girl. This shit, girl. And you know, Spicy, that's the part that bothers me, because why isn't the FBI on this case? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why the FBI is not on this case. Kim Worthy told the FBI they got it from here. We don't need y'all. We got it. There's a reason why she told them that we got it. Because when the FBI steps in, they look under every rock. They rip every blanket off the bed. They shake pillowcases and they flip mattresses. Kim Worthy was afraid that if too many rocks got flipped and too many mattresses got flipped and too many pillowcases got shook, her shit was coming out in the wash. And she didn't want to be exposed. She didn't want Detroit to be exposed. She didn't want all the shit that they swept under the rug for years and years and years to be exposed. That's exactly why FBI was told you are not needed here. That's why. How could one motherfucker have that much power? Naziyah was actually, she truly was a sacrifice. Truly she was. Tony says, Mocha, think about it. Kim has a NICU wing at Henry Ford Hospital. And you have to be able to take care of the baby with the drug addictions. You're right. You have to be able to take care of the baby with the drug addiction. This all starts with Kim Worthless. I believe you. I believe you. She was providing those children. Dorothy says because they're all little black children. Tammy says Kim Worthless and Annette worked together. That is why she helped and she's attached to this case. We cannot trust Kim Worthless. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Kim Worthless is the foundation to all of this shit. To all of it. But Annette has to pay for the damage that she's caused children all these years. all these years. I had another supporter say and leave in a comment section. She said, Mocha, this is what I believe. Annette's mother knew Kim Worthy's family. And that's why it's been going on for so many years. There's no paperwork. Annette was only supposed to get girls through adoption. All the ones that got pregnant ran away. Look who the runaways was reported to. Kim. She got foster care. It started from the church. Annette wanted Lady too. Then she got pregnant. Then she had to get out. She ran away. This is all making sense. This is all making sense. And it's a shame. It's a shame that anybody, I don't give a damn what color you are, have to sit in a space like this and see so much corruption behind neglect and abuse of children. Foster care paperwork being mismanaged, being hidden, while access is still being given to people like Annette. While access is still being given to people like the church. People are talking what they see. They're recognizing the patterns, and we all are not wrong. Jarvis is being charged. Annette should be charged. Shannon should be charged. Marquita should be charged. Dre should be charged because he was in that house too, goddammit. The good old bishop should be charged. Shut that damn church down. Because everything did not just happen in Annette's home. Frank needs to be charged. Because one thing y'all got to know, these names didn't just pop up just because. These names popped up because these names are somewhere affiliated and they're intertwined with this family of nastiness. We got to make it make sense and keep it all the way real. You can't point the finger at one and not include the rest. Because God damn it, if you were there, you knew. So that don't exclude you. It don't exclude you. I don't give a damn who you are, because children's lives were at risk. And you sat there, you became a part of it. These children did not ask for this. Did not ask for this. One of the supporters says, I feel Frank or that church knows more. Even King knows. King knows if he took and sold unacceptable pictures. Phil Jarvis may not tell. Phil, he may not tell it all because somebody will off him. That's a possibility as well. That's a possibility as well. This is a shame. This is a shame. And Annette and her ugly children, they got a price to pay. They have a price to pay. Lady, she had Naziyah's phone. I'm reading what the supporter said. She had Naziyah's phone. She saw videos of what was really going on because Naziyah recorded every damn thing. Supporters say Lady and Vari ain't shit. They could have saved Naziyah and the other kids in that house. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. But everybody that was in that house is still walking free. And we still haven't gotten no closer to answers about that baby. But in their minds, we're the problems. We're the problem. This was a much needed night. I appreciate going through the questions. And before we get ready to close, I want to say this from a place of realness. The questions that I went over tonight, what y'all showed me is that this community is paying attention. Y'all listening, y'all remembering. Y'all gives us an opportunity to go back and replay some shit. And you're just not letting things slide because time done passed. And to me, that matters. Naziyah is still missing. Stories ain't adding up. The timeline is shady as fuck. And Annette and her two ugly daughters still have not said a word. But what they fail to realize, people gonna continue asking questions. And that's not because they hate y'all or being hateful. That's not because, people are gonna ask questions because Naziyah deserve answers. That's accountability, bitches. Something y'all will never know nothing about. Over here, we gonna continue making space for conversation. Over here, we let our supporters speak and we let our questions be questions. We don't pretend confusion ain't confusion just to keep the peace. Fuck the peace. Anybody watching this feels uncomfortable, good for you. Good for you. Because if you're uncomfortable, you got to ask yourself why. What role you played in this if you're fucking uncomfortable? And if you ever felt seen, heard, or understood, that's exactly why this platform is here. So I'm going to say, I want to thank everyone that left a comment. I want to thank everyone that showed up tonight respectfully because this has been a good conversation. Every Nola Bell, Bo, cousin, and friend that came in here tonight with an open mind, I thank you all. Everyone that supported the channel, I appreciate you all through Cash App, Super Sticker, Super Chat. Thank you all. Those of you that was sitting in the bushes, I thank you too. There's no chaos and confusion here. And everybody here gets a chance to be heard. Because we don't do this for just because. We do this for these babies. They all deserve a voice. And over here, we strive to be the voice for the voiceless. And Kitty says, and I agree with you, sis, anyone watching this that's uncomfortable, they might just be a predator of some sort too. Absolutely, Kitty. Because why would you be uncomfortable? On that note, I'm going to say God bless each and every one of you. Make sure you have your notification bell set so you know each and every time I go live or I post. Thank you all. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. God bless and good night.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No lapels, the work ain't done. No. Motor leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. Moki in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. Know the pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall, we rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead 'em from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. Down in the north where the soul don't break. Mocha built the lane where the real ones stay. Ain't no faking the funk, ain't no playing for clout. You bring that mess, we gon' sort that out. But this ain't about drama, it's about love. It's about healing, it's about trust. Every child, every voice, every name in the breeze. We gon' stand for the ones no one else gon' see. So we rise tall, we rise as one. Oh, no, no bellows, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This is family. This is family. And we stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide. Where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. We rise as one. Know the bells, the work ain't done. Won't you lead it from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each Join the family.
Good night, everyone.